My dear brothers and sisters, my name is Pablo Jimenez and I am your instructor for this occasion. And this is our third video on church revitalization. On the first one, we spoke about the model of the declining church, and the second one on the model of the thriving church. And on this third one, we are going to mop up this lecture. And we are working upon the writings of Tom Bandy. As we had said earlier, Tom Bandy is an expert on church growth and church revitalization, and we are working upon a book that he wrote that is an awesome book that you should buy if you don't have it. It's Kicking Habits, Welcome Relief for Addicted Churches. Here you see a cover of the book. So let's talk about small groups because in Bandy's system, small groups are very important. As we stated in our earlier educational nuggets, the thriving church offers different opportunities for faith development. Small groups are very important in this system. They are a very important tool for church revitalization. Every small group must have a leader, and that leader should be part of a leadership team. For example, in our church, every small group has 3 leaders forming a leadership team, and that team must be composed of people who are gifted and who feel called to that ministry. This group is the eldership of the church. These leaders are the pastors or shepherds or mentors of the different groups. They not only share enthusiasm for the group's mutual interest, but they are also trained in prayer, in scripture, and in counseling. Beyond dealing with the content of group life, small group leaders must also be trained in group processes and also in communication skills so that they can help the group build the trust and intimacy needed to overcome the personality conflicts that would always come when you interact with others. These people will become the caregivers for the congregation. They will become the first contacts for those who begin to engage with the church. Most of these groups will meet outside the church building, and usually they will meet at homes of participants, although there are small groups that meet in coffee houses and places alike. The participation in this group is not eternal. It's not a group for forever. The idea is for people to make a commitment for a specific span of time so that they know that this begins and this ends. Through the small groups, all church members must purposely interact with the public, communicating a degree of joy that is authentic to their individual discovery of faith, and also exercising their spiritual gifts as they have come to understand them. It is the individual participant who controls the manner and pace of action, and also the individual participant who witnesses to the community is not the institution. The norm of small group life will be for a group to divide or multiply every 9 to 12 months. So the whole idea is that your small groups would bear new small groups. So let's have some final thoughts about Bandy's system. If your call comes authentically from Jesus Christ, that call will address the spiritual yearning of the public directly, clearly, but also powerfully. However, on the other hand, if that calling is not being articulated correctly by the church, then that spiritual yearning will remain. So the church, instead of being doing mission, would still be addicted. What is our goal in the thriving church? Our goal in the thriving church is to be much more than a civic club. It to be much more than a place where you go to seek educational training or to have fellowship. The goal is to always defend the faith. The goal is to always multiply opportunity for ministry through the discernment of gifts and callings of the different people. The dynamic organization is not interested in control. A church should not be preoccupied with controlling people or to survive. What is our goal? What we want is to motivate people. What we want is to help people to transform themselves from whatever form of ministry they are doing now to a ministry that is vibrant, that will deliver mission, that will help people, that would reach peoples in their time of need. The congregation must determine the basic, fundamental, or essential vision, beliefs, and values of church life. This defines the essential identity of the church as it exists for the participants today. No one could be engaged in personal mission without regularly and passionately participating in the worship of the church. That is crucial. If worship participation splits, or if worship participation dwindles, the pastoral leaders will be perceived as the culprits of that. But also the pastoral leaders will perceive such split as a sure sign that the unity of the faith is broken and that the church is on a wrong path. So worship is very important, and corporate worship and the unity of the church is crucial. Worship lies at the core of the thriving church. Worship is central to the thriving church. And when we're talking about worship, we're talking about worship services that are so motivating, so enriching, that it's not possible to be part of the church without participating in worship. So again, what is vision? Vision is not a repetition of the heritage of the church. Vision is not an articulation of the beliefs and values of past founders of the church. It is today's answer to a key question. What is it about our experience of Jesus Christ that this community cannot live without? What is it that we need to communicate because the community cannot live without that knowledge of Christ? What is the aim of our mission? Well, the aim of our mission is to provide skill development, but also spiritual growth. And those two things need to happen at the same time. We must offer training experiences designed by the human resources team, and those must include spiritual exercises and also coaching that we may help people to share faith with confidence. The aim of mission is always to transform the whole person. Finally, we must remember that without the continuing experience of God's transforming power, any mission activity, no matter how altruistic, would spin out of the church. And so we reach the end of our 3 video set on church revitalization based on the writings of Tom Bandy. So I really thank you for your attention to these videos. Blessings.